Boy. You paid extra.
Hey folks. Okay, this is a thing I wrote. It's called Drifters. Drifting the rocky bath of the inlet, all we're reeling in are skate and bunches of baby mussels. Stuck together, all sticky with sediment, I'm not sure if they kin closely to one another by choice or adhesive. Goatwell wants to sell some stripers tonight to Schiller's. He's been calling himself freelance ever since he was served papers from both his wife and his work the same day. He figures, why do one thing half through when he could be doing lots, even less through? All those bits have got to fill out somewhere, he tells me. He's cutting our lines that keep getting knotted up in the rip coming through from Sore Thumb. All around us are drifters too, tight-lipped Irish men darting ill wishes into the wind. By mid-fall, the summer fluke have dried up and only stripers stay in season, but you need a lot more clams than what we've got. Live eel's even better because stripers don't have proper teeth. If you let a one near your arm, he'll suck it up to your elbow. I used to think this is what Captain Hook should have looked like. Voices run far over the silent surface, and if you feel the bite, you're to do not, but stomp for the net. Pull in fast and duck down to do the knife work. If they see, the drifters will line up and throttle toward. They'll not wave or ask how's the fishing when they dip in from so close that you can't even pee over the side in private. Along the shore through the beach grass, I'm making out a woman, wrinkled tan, sat swim-capped and goggled still in a backyard, where Richard Golden is yarping at us from a dock. I toss him a clam when Goatwell isn't looking. The Captree charters, Goat says, say her name is Olivia. They have it that she sits awaited and watch it over the inlet for her husband's head to poke round past the thumb from his morning swim, that her face, pretty much since, has been left to the sun. And how'd you figure all this? When we were small, Goatwell once told me a raw artichoke was a wedge of mozzarella. Told you, Ricky Vendella, captain over at the Lucy Ford. And him? Probably for a crowd, day the fishing was slow. Goatwell is throttling up to move our drift. There's not a one here. Maybe we'd raft up to the dock and make friends. And she'll pay us? As we motor out to the thumb, the Golden's yarbs get drowned up in our wake, and I can see a gleam from the sun hit off Olivia's goggles as beaming over them both. A couple gulls land on her dock, and the Golden is wagging at them from a few posts back. Probably the first day she didn't put worry to it. Being Herb was known to raw dog camp out on the thumb some nights. She hadn't raised a stick about it since they'd first married. He needed a bit with the stars then and again. Plus, he was just across the inlet, and if the weather had turned sour, he could take Crux's skiff, moored just inside the calm tip of the thumb, key electric tape to the outboard throttle for who might need it. Probably old Herb never got to Crux's skiff. Probably the camp had started off like all the others, full moon come out over the ocean. If you're going to see one thing on the island, see to it that it be the moon rising up over the Atlantic, gigantic orange face, turn nightlight overhead in a matter of half the hour from when it surfaced. See also to it that you get naked and get in, even if it's a cold one. Just look out for the water moon zombies reaching up from beneath the undertow for young or old fleshy swimmers. This was always a point of concern for us, though I now doubt that old Herb that old Herb had a wary thought for water zombies. Probably, I don't know, and I cannot figure what happened to old Herb. If you're ever lucky enough to see a pack of gulls dipping down, you should always drop what you've got going and cast out to them. Years ago, the fluke had not been biting for Pop and me. Over by Frank and Dick's, being this was far before the storm, there was a pack of gulls swooping down and scooping up. We cast out to them, and I remember thinking that maybe Pop had lost it and he was now resigning to catching seagulls instead. He had to cast my rod out because I didn't believe he wasn't going to go for them. Not the second my shiner hit the water, though, did I feel a tug and reeled in a little cocktail blue. There was never a size limit to bluefish, so you could keep everything you caught, and we did. That night, we made about 3 dozen bluefish cakes. I remember saying it was the best fish I'd ever have, and all the adults were laughing. Bluefish are tough fish to have. They wanted to know why I didn't prefer a good mako or striper, and they had a harder laugh when I answered it was because I'd never caught either one before. Goat's been on the line for a bit now, and when he ends a long and thick-fought reeling fight with not but an oversized skate, I'm pretty scared. Take a standard sea ray, then get rid of all the smooth brown and white and replace it with tough, crustily spotted skin stained orange looking a teenage breakout or the freckled face of the boy on the white bread package. Then add some spikes seeping poison along his wings and to the tip of his rocky stigatail. The skate sound is a rotten-throated glug gargle as soon as he's brought to the deck, where he'll also start swinging tail at you. Here you've got yourself a skate. I've heard the Chinese to actually eat these things. Our last clam, Goat's got his hunter's knife out and again to unhook it. Good thing. There's not a one out here. All the others have gone in. I point east to the bridge, and the drifters have motored out of the inlet and bay bound. Even better, no one left to steal them. Goatwell has unhooked the thing, but not taken his glove-handed pressure off it. It's straggling and splurting seawater in his face. They say that skaters are among to be the smartest in the northeast waters. I'm getting my last clam back. Next step in is a striper, or I buy the gas. And I don't point out to Goat that it was he who woke me up this morning playing the guitar about fishing with his cousin. We've drifted back towards Olivia's dock, and the Golden is now mad yarping when Goatwell knives into a skate's squilling underbelly. White and just about the only soft thing on his body, I've never seen the underside of a skate before. It's got itself wrapped around Tough Goat's arm, but he doesn't pay mind as he starts sorting out its guts. What with all the goings-on of a skate, there's not much to be had on the inside. A bit of intestine, the lungs, the heart, some other yellow goop, and the stomach, where which Goat's clam has not yet made it to. The skate has turned bloodied inside out and has stopped squealing now when Goat yanks out a mashed green-looking palmful of junk. He grabs the chum bucket, this will attract the real guys, and tosses it over the starboard side. It drifts out and out a football field when a pack of gulls swoop in. The Golden's yarps have stopped now, and he's tail wagging at us as we scurry for our rods to cast out. Thank you.
Sean